I feel like I told you offline. I've been waking up at like 2 to 3 a.m. So like by the time I hit like 7 a.m., I've already done like a full day's worth of work. This is like not intentional. This is more of a I just wake up super jazzed and thinking about the next thing. So I'm just like, oh, let me go and just take a crack at it. So that's what I've been at. Yeah, 100%. Which is actually I think I'm gonna update my LinkedIn and just say I'm like started stealth. Like at this point, it just makes sense to say I started a new job. So let me do it live on the air. Yeah. Somebody asked me, I think someone was like, "Oh, did you announce your thing?" Because they were talking to somebody about it, and I was like, "God, actually, I haven't even thought about it. Like, I haven't even like thought to like, oh yeah, I should like announce this and do like a whole like story." Um, which I guess I should do at least that, which is like mention that I work at a stealth company. Uh, yeah. Are you at stealth or stealth startup? I didn't know either. I'm just like looking at the drop down now and figured out I'll look at John McBride on LinkedIn. Okay, cool. Yeah. I'm joining stealth right now as well. Yeah, yeah. Yeah, what a ride. Um but yeah, very cool. So I'm gonna add a description and say working with John McBride on something. Cool. So let's did I find my job on LinkedIn? That's the that's not the case. Cool. And yeah. Yeah, I had been following you for a bit. Like so we had been hosted at GitHub, we hosted the GitHub README podcast. And I was specifically looking for like open source maintainers. And I think you were on a short list of folks that were maintaining software. I also found you through like I think you were active on TikTok at the moment. So I found you on TikTok first. That's where I found you originally, and then I looked up. Oh, you actually did some real code because back in like 2020, 2021, like it was like hit or miss on TikTok. It was mostly like college students, like basically on there, and yeah, so like my job has always been like, I'm gonna just know who's around. Um, so yeah, you were on a short list, and then eventually I reached out to you for a Twitter Space, which I don't know if you did. Did you do a Twitter Space with open source or GitHub? Yeah, yeah, yeah. I mean, I don't know. Like I definitely I get way more like local Oakland like food TikToks, and maybe that's like that aligns with my interest. Um, but yeah, it feels as if like that world's changed a lot. Um, and sorry, I'm gonna like send you. I just got an update on a conversation we were having before we jumped online. So I'll just drop a screenshot of the text message I got. But yeah, exciting. Yeah, this is a inside. Yeah, inside baseball. Um, but yeah. So that's where we got connected, like through the TikTok, and then eventually like a Twitter Space, and then I think you had saw I worked at Open Sauce, and you'd ping me of like you'd be interested in new roles. Like, oh wow, that's crazy because like we're interested in new people joining the company. Um, so and then that's the rest of the story, as they say. Um, but yeah, very cool. Um, let me see. Oh, sorry, folks. We do this open source ready live. We actually never really introduced, but John and I host a podcast, and as an effort to one have more content that goes out in our newsletter. We're doing a live stream every week on a Thursday. Podcast is every other week on Thursdays. So I think we had a podcast go out last week. Um, did we have one else last week? I'm like really behind on Rick reviewing this podcast, so I appreciate you reviewing them and approving them. Yeah, yeah. And yeah, so we did that, and then so I'm going to open up some tabs too as well, so folks who are watching can see my notes. But yeah, open source ready. Podcast Heavy Bit. Cool. Yeah, appreciate Heavy Bit for hosting the podcast for us. And yeah, just pulling it up. Developer first, data engineering. Um, yeah, that's pretty much what I'm showing. Um, cool. I realized my video just like popped away, but yeah, I found it again. Um, cool. Yeah, so that was a podcast. We have this thing we call reads. So we usually end with reads on the podcast. So open source ready live, we basically just talk through reads. So John, I would ask you, are you are you ready to read? Yeah, that's a good a good way that most of our guests respond. Yeah, yes, I think so. Um, yeah, that was a good clip. But yeah, I have a read. I'll jump in first, which is Pete Steinberger, who is famous from the Claw, the multi-bots, the quad bots, which I guess we're not allowed to say that out loud anymore. It's kind of like the Super Bowl. You can't say quad um, in your app. Which, to be fair, you can't say like you can't call yourself like the GitHub like if I was making a new startup of GitHub AI, I couldn't use GitHub in there because that's technically trademark. But I could say like I'm AI Hub. But anyway, long story. Um, so Pete, he actually or Peter rather, I should call him Pete. Like we're so friendly. So Peter basically what a wild turn. In the last month, he announced OpenClaw. OpenClaw got like 100,000 stars in like a week. It's at 200,010 at this point. And he sort of surprised everyone last week when he was like complaining about, well, he was pretty public complaining about the spam bots in the OpenClaw repo and how AI is kind of like ruining the fun. And then the next week, he announced, or basically, what was it, last Monday or this Monday? He announced that he's joining. Actually, I'll just like take a look. He tweets a lot, so I probably won't be able to find his announcement. But yeah, he's joining OpenAI. And oh yeah, yeah, and this is kind of leaning into like the post that I was gonna point to next. Basically, all these reads are basically the same thing. So Ryan Carson also mentioned he's just gonna say out loud that it's frustrating that Anthropic is this terrible at DevRel, which is like, man, what a gut punch. That like he even like sort of like calls out Greg Brockman and whoever this person is, ex founder. Yeah, okay, but yeah, basically oh, actually, even worse, like the actual DevRel team is here too as well, which is yeah, quite a gut punch. But they're going through like a different. So I guess like these two reads are really coincided because OpenAI. basically undercut like even an open code journey of like when they got sort of undercut about the SDK and using Quad Code subscription tokens inside of open code. OpenAI was just like, oh, use Codex, and they got to set up like in a day. And I think between like that, them shutting them down, and then Codex, like Anthropic did reverse course. But the sort of a kimono was open at that point where like everybody sort of like this like rushed in, which kimono was like bad analogy or uh yeah. Anyway, I'll take that one back. But what I'm getting at is Codex is now having a bit of a moment with the 5.3. I actually was just using it this morning. It's really good. The benchmarks are actually really good on Codex versus 4.6, Opus 4.6. Um, but going back to this, like every single announcement of like whether the SDK can be leveraged or you should be using the SDK or you can use Quad Code inside of something else. I will actually just jump into the replies of this because I think Tariq jumped in here. Maybe he deleted his reply. Yeah. So he basically is just playing air traffic controlling on like pretty much every single one of these tweets, where he's just like there's like a lot of confusion and back and forth on like what is clear. And I think what most people are kind of just reading between the lines, which is I'm just gonna like this is the one tweet that's still here. But this is like reading between the lines that Anthropic is probably trying to sort of like claw back some of this like free and open access, and the understanding right now is that the free lunch is going to be no longer free eventually. I think if you read between the lines. I'll take 100 million. Yeah. Yeah, that is a post, and oh, it's this one. Yeah, so it was actually I was on the back of this LinkedIn post, which I discovered I can embed LinkedIn in Astro, so pretty nice. Oh, and like that's weird. It actually doesn't even open up the post that I click through. So what am I doing? How do I click? It's gonna go to me. Well, anyway, if I like it, then it would open it up. Okay, interesting LinkedIn. Like way to do iframes. Now it's going to take forever to load. There we go. Yeah. So basically, I started doing some tracking of the numbers inside of our tape stack. I actually gave a little demo of tape stack last week on this stream. So this is it. And I actually even cleaned this up where you could actually Quad kind of breaks up sessions weirdly. So like I grouped them in a way that you could actually see all the session data in one. So like this one session is actually $300, and I think that's what you were alluding to. Like my top sessions were like all $300. There are some that I hit 1 million tokens in. Those are the ones where I like some deep thinking and like research, and I just sort of let it rip. But yeah, pretty fascinating. Like one Opus 4.6 is super expensive. Like it's not even close. Like you look at these numbers and like I thought that Opus, well, everything's 4.6 now. So Sonnet 4.6, Haiku 4.5. I'm not sure if it has 4.6 yet. But it doesn't route. Like I'm not sure because I'm on the max plan. I went the max just recently. It's not routing down to something dumber. it's constantly always using 4.6 until it complains that I've used all my 4.6 sessions, and then I go into overages. So I did spend $7 outside my max plan, um, to like basically keep working. But this number here is like it's the true number, and hopefully it's like off by a couple $100, but like hopefully it's pretty accurate. I was going to do some more digging in to see how accurate it is. But $3,000, I'm paying $200 a month, but I'm spending $3,000 worth of tokens. Which at what point does that like uh, does that allude to? And I realize I'm pointing this out, but I'm not sure if you see any of this, but you see the post. Um, but yeah, at what point does the rug get pulled? And like, is it IPO? And that's what the blog post was about. Like, is it at the point where they have IPO'd in Q4 this year before OpenAI? Because like there's a bit of an arms race happening right now. Um, and I'd be very curious what ends up happening. So I'm actually preparing to use Codex. I've been using GLM as well. I've been using Kimi too, not full time, but more of like trying to figure out where the edge cases are. And like GLM and Kimi 2 both I can't count on for deep work. Um, they still cut corners. They do weird stuff. They write like not idiomatic Go code. Like it's just like a lot of stuff that's just like I can't trust it to let it rip. Um, but probably pretty good if I was in IDE and was watching it. Um, those are really good options. Yeah. Yeah, and I guess maybe that's the bet they're making is that if you get that, if you're spending, that was I've only been recording this for 2 weeks, so like in 2 weeks I've spent like $3,000 to $4,000. Um, I guess I would pay twice that amount if I had a full time engineer like working with me, at least out here in San Francisco. So, and even that's on the cheap side. So I guess you're still getting the cost of an engineer, pretty much in the U.S. Um, so maybe that's where the value add is like realistically you're gonna end up paying more. Like I took an Uber home that was like $53 to go like maybe 8 miles from like the Mission to Oakland, and I do remember a time when it cost me like $16 to get home, especially like after 10. Like I can be home like so quick because I'm like door to door, freeway to freeway, um, usually pretty easy. But now I'm like guaranteed $50 or at best if I'm downtown, $30. And that's like weird hours, like where nothing's happening. So I do think the what's interesting is Anthropic introduced overages. Um, I'll say this to Anthropic if you want to like claw back some DevRel vibes. Nights and weekends should be free. Like let's no overages on like after 10 p.m. in your time zone. And I think that would actually go over really well. And it would actually be really nice because then like a lot of the work I'm doing is like late at night. So like if it's a server that I'm hitting to get my inference and like everyone else is sleeping, like I would time box all my stuff as I mentioned when we jumped on, like between 3 and 7 a.m. Like I'd get all my work done at that point. Yeah. Oh yeah, it's new. Yeah. Yeah. Are H200s out yet? Or is that still a dream in Jensen's eye? Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, it's coming. Like we're sort of marching down with all these like humanoid robots, like ready to pipe into our GPUs and like I guess drive our cars and like everything else that's coming along for the ride. So, yeah, wild times. Yeah. Yeah, yeah. I am probably so they actually this is probably the same plan they did last week of the year, last year where they had like unlimited usage for Quad Code last week of the year, and actually sparked a lot of growth and a lot of excitement for Claude and like whatever model 4.5 or whatever was out at that point. Um, so like I'm probably creating an entire ecosystem or like sort of cabal of people who I start with probably 100 people and I'm saying you get access nights and weekends are free. And we basically let them use it for the next like 1 to 2 months, craft a bunch of stories, use your awkward ability to make podcasts about your product launches because like I think Anthropic's videos are always awkward. OpenAI is not good either. They're just awkward people to like have on video. Um, but interview your users of like what they've been doing and how they've been hacking and like how this has like leveled up their code. Leverage that to then announce that okay, nights and weekends are free for people who are on Max. So not only do you, the goal is like you're gonna already crush through a bunch of stuff because you're on like you're a cracked engineer and you're like you know what you're doing, you're gonna get everything done. So you build like an entire persona of folks who actually leverage this. And then it helps like one, you've got a bunch of all these like Gen Z or whatever the alpha folks coming out next that are coming out of college or high school rather. Like these are folks who are that want to be involved and have a story and get access to free and like it's like how you combat against like when I was in college, like Adobe, you get all these like free licenses or cracked licenses uh, to like using Adobe products, and they didn't. I don't know if they actually did anything to like combat that other than make Creative Cloud awful. Um, but I guess what I'm getting at is like I probably would just build an entire persona of like these indie hackers and like these like cracked engineers who are leveraging Quad Code to do X, Y, Z. Build a bunch of stories, put all the content out there, and then ride that wave into your IPO. So like call back the goodwill, but then all these like YC founders who are already spending every night like working, like they work at night when they have like free access because they're part of the plan. Um, and then during the day, they just do all their meetings and demos and everything else that they do, or use Codex, whatever. But I think you could do a good job of like saying, yeah, we'll give you free access, and like we're not gonna like nickel and dime you. And I imagine they couldn't do all night. It'd probably be like between 12 a.m. and 5 a.m. or something. So it's like an awkward time. So you're basically building your entire startup life cycle around that. But honestly, I think they do pretty good doing that, and I think they should do that. Yeah. Yeah, yeah. It's this actually became a thing, a big problem during the pandemic, especially at PGE because everyone would work from home. You would normally have like off peak hours, basically. So like nine to five, you're expected that you're gonna be at work, and everything flipped. Where now like I've got these lights on, I've got this machine going, I've got another machine that I have in standby mode right now, with my GPUs in it, and like I'm here like using electricity. So I think it's the same sense of like everything flips, and then now it's like the off peak hours tend to be after. Like actually, the off peak hours are basically at night at this point because everyone's at home. Um, but then like I have an electric car, so I don't charge my car until 12 a.m. and it's like on a timer because those are now the off peak hours. Because 12 to 7 a.m. basically, or 12 to 8 a.m. I think is the off peak hours. Um, yeah, it's yeah. I mean, that's the one time you'll get a little bit of a discount if you're sort of budgeting. Uh, yeah, it's wild. Like I guess like we have careers that we don't have to think about like whether the air is like on 68 or 65 or whatever or heat rather. Um, but yeah. Oh wow. Man, that's crazy. Connecticut, no, it's not a coastal city, so you're not really getting much of a breeze. Oh, it is? Oh, actually, I don't even know. I should probably look at it on the map. I guess Connecticut is on the coast. It's like next to New York. Okay. Yeah, yeah. I mean, I actually have I'll actually comb through my bookmarks. Um, and then I actually wanted to show a quick demo too as well. Yeah, yeah. We might be doing. Not. We're probably doing something with this. But yeah, I was kind of blown away when you mentioned this, when you sort of discover this, because like it definitely fits within what we're building in like stealth startup. So for folks who are curious, I am now. How do I get my profile? I am in stealth startup mode. Uh, uh, I don't know why this isn't show on the top. It's probably because I moved myself to advisor at Continue. Um, I don't know how to like. Yeah, I gotta like announce it. Is that what I have to do? Let's see. Yeah, I'll figure this out offline. But yeah, I'm like doxing myself as well. Or maybe I'm not. I'm not sure. Like, look at my LinkedIn, please. Um, yeah, yeah, yeah. I'm not quite Nick's pilled yet, but I'm very intrigued. Yeah, 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 yeah. Pretty soon I'll be writing only on Linux, and yeah, we'll see how far I go. Actually, I've always wanted to get an old Lenovo laptop or probably get a new one, but like just drop Linux on it. So that way I can just like, because I don't need that like on a desktop, like I'll probably never use it. But if I throw Linux on a laptop and like use it as my experimentation machine, um, I wouldn't mind that. Oh, yeah. Yeah. Yeah, but I imagine I'm not doing like a bunch of like intensive work. I'm just more of like just running a bunch of Linux things and seeing how far I can take it. The laptop company. Oh, framework. Oh. Oh wow. Oh wow. That's I didn't realize you were running Linux at your last job. Oh. Yeah, yeah, very cool. Yeah. I think I remember this framework thing coming out like what a couple years ago or something like that. Um, but yeah, actually, I'm gonna look that up. I don't think I'm gonna buy a framework laptop, but I did want to share quickly. I will share contributor info. So I this is a project I've been basically, and I guess I don't know if it's like worth like sharing my screen. It might break everything, but cool. Yeah. So I'm sharing my screen to you, which I guess I should. Okay, cool. We're good. So I'm gonna pick on the continue repo. So this is actually just a it's not one-to-one creation of like we did at open source, but it's pretty close. Which I started it with like vibe coding, essentially this. So I just wanted to like have a site where I could see contributor distribution, and I got it to work with just a GitHub auth. I could like capture the data and then like cache it like in browser, and then and that got overwhelming because then I started looking at like cloud native projects like XCD and like Argo, and it got overwhelming. So then I brought in Supabase, and then I started caching, basically like hashing a bunch of the data so I can like fetch like basically avatars. I can cache that. Some like light data around the PRs. I can cache that as well. But also keep like the thing like PRs open. I keep that fresh and hit the API on. So I'm only hitting the API like once on that data. So like, I just learned a lot of stuff from like open source. We had like captured a bunch of repos. This is about maybe 150 or 180 repos, and it's all based on like people who sign up and ask for a repo. So if I was like looking for, Okay, tapes is live. So this is what you'll see if you don't opt in a repo. You'd hit the track. Yeah, I don't want to click. I don't want to click that. I know that. But we do have tapes here. And what's cool about this is so all these squares are. We didn't actually have this at open source, but all these squares are basically PRs from the 5 people you see. So likely a lot of these are me or you. I think Glenn is now sort of showing up as well. He's like hiding. I should actually have the hover and move away thing, but I'll fix that later. But basically, these are all basically PRs that we've done in the last 30 days. So you can kind of see like the progressive contribution map. But the thing I wanted to show you is the paper compute. Oh, I got my whole screen right. Sorry, paper compute. Actually, we've actually not announced paper compute publicly, but I went, I just blanked and I just went to the wrong site. But AI SDK is like an integration, so AI SDK from Vercel. I built a demo project where you can kind of chat with Vercel and get access to tapes data locally. So what I've done is I've done the same thing, but I've embedded it inside of contributor info. So if you remember Star Search, I just there's no grab on the Star Search name, so I just named it that because I why not just capture some information and love there. But if I ask a question that I've sort of have pre-delivered, you can also ask like any question. It will tell you if it can do it or if it'll just give you recommended ones. So I just asked, give me an overview of this repo, and then I've like generated this card. This is all using my same design system within the app, but it will like take all this information and generate in a card. My next step is make this actually shareable. We can like download the image, which I do have. Essentially, I do have it pretty much here, where I could download the image. It's a little clunky, but you can't see it. But I just got an image in my downloads folder, or I guess you can see it. You can see you can't see me opening it, but basically, I'll just let you know that downloads folder has that image. Um, but yeah, anyway, like I've got other questions I could ask, which is like list some issues I can work on. I think I have issues. I might only have PRs. I show me some PRs opened. Oh, it's broken. So tapes is hooked up, and I'm just gonna look at the error message real quick. Yeah, something I'll have to figure out later. Let me copy that for. Oh, I have Sentry on here, so I probably have it in Sentry. Cool. So has tapes ready to go and it's wired. The only thing I'm missing, and this is me selling John on. I remember we can get Glenn to do this next week. But basically, I need like a storage driver to point it to a cloud offering because I can't ship it directly on a hosted thing. Ship it to a SQLite like local instance, and I'm using Superbase, so I don't have a SQLite um, option. So likely, I just need to point it to Superbase. Um, and because I already have Superbase connected and I have a URL, I probably would just like do it that way and just keep it simple. But basically, what I can do is like capture all my tapes data and then start doing some stuff in app. Like in my, I have like an admin panel as well. If I close this, let me see, admin dashboard, and I could see like a bunch of like dashboards for me to like identify different experiences, like my post hog, I have like a local analytics, got like performance monitoring, which I think is broken now because I I broke a lot of stuff, so everything's broken. But it used to work, promise me. But when I'm basically using ingest behind the scenes to like queue up jobs and then basically send it to Superbase. I also have a third party thing called the GH data pipe that also I use as an API to offload heavy stuff. Like if I had to backfill Nix packages, it gets kicked off to my Fly box that has a whole data service that runs and captures that data and in a way that doesn't hit me in the rate limiting. But yeah, the thing I was just mainly wanted to show is that I have now tapes connected and I'm like very much ready to go to showcase how this can like integrate with the Vercel AI SDK. Yeah. 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 Cool. Yeah. Yeah. This is yeah, good times. I'll stop sharing my screen so this heads up that I'll break everything on your end. Um, but yeah, that I mean that's the demo. I'm actually looking forward to getting that wired up and like taking it to the next level. I do want to spin up agents that could also do some background stuff for me. With like I have a bunch of like sentry errors that I have not addressed. So it's and I opened up the error console and I was like, or the Chrome console, and I have a bunch of stuff that this shows up that I. It's like when it's a side project and no one's paying you for it, you have like no. I have like no interest in like actively fixing those things, but if someone who's watching wants to sign up and like tell me they'll pay me $5, I'll probably fix it. Yeah. Cool. Yeah. I was funny enough, like I think I sort of ideated that stuff on Tuesday night, and then Wednesday morning I put together most of that. And then I cleaned up a lot of the like the last mile stuff this morning. So like having the recommended questions to push. That was all this morning. And then I felt like everything was working. And then I show a demo and I have an error message. So here I am. Yeah. Cool. Yeah, I don't know if anything else that you wanted to share or any other reads or demos, but yeah, we could also wrap up an extra 10 minutes early. Yeah, we're about to open claw minutes back, and I've got tacos waiting for me, so I'm gonna go have lunch. Yeah. Uh, yeah, yeah, it's time to stay alive. What a time to be alive. Yeah. Welcome to stealth. Yeah, so I'm gonna make that an announcement on LinkedIn later today, in preparation for us to announce publicly what we're working on. So, which I sort of preempted ourselves on stream. Freudian. Yeah, yeah, it's got stuff there. Um, cool. All right. Well, I'm gonna end my stream and we'll go from there. But yeah,